everything. But as a creative person, I just have to keep producing things. I have to keep other things, new things. So that helps singing, music, painting, and all those things. So pretty early on, I just thought, like, I'm a nutty creative factory, and I just have to find ways to keep expressing that within myself. Because let's face it, it's wonderful, but it's not all that creative to sign your DeLorean. You know what I mean? But it's great. We meet, it's human and it's great, but we all need our various, things in our life. And the arts have been a wonderful thing to me.
When do you get your best ideas? I find I get my best ideas just randomly. Sometimes I think, yeah, I'm going to do this crazy thing or do this weird thing. What about you? Is it in the shower, when you're cooking, when you're taking a walk? When do the kind of weirdest ideas come to you?
What my weirdest ideas come to me? I ride my bike a lot.
Okay.
I ride my bike early in the morning, and it's just great. I just clear everything out, and then whether the weather's hot or cold or whatever, it really clears my head. So I like that. But as you know, when you begin doing these things professionally, if you start to do, like me, have paintings in a gallery and start really being a professional, there is that moment of being inspired and being on your bike. But being a professional is like going home and sitting in your chair and starting to work on it, and not talking about it at Starbucks, because that's the most fun. I admit that's the most fun. It's like when you're an acting student, when you're studying painting or anything, the most fun is after the class going to Starbucks and talking theory and talking about it, and it's just fun, isn't it? Oh, I'm creative in the shower, I get my best ideas, Well, when you do it professionally, I don't care where you are, but you better get your ideas now because you're trying to sell it to make food to eat, So wherever you are, that artistic temperament, G.K. Chesterton, great writer, he said, the artistic temperament is a disease that affects amateurs. Meaning, being that term, I can't think right now, that's an amateur move, man, because people want to, somebody else is painting a painting too, right now. Or they're writing a script right now. Or they're singing a song right now. So if you want to do it professionally work, it's about work, no matter what. Everyone says, which is true, it must have been so fun to make those movies and to be out there with the DeLorean and everything and all that. I say, yes, it was a lot of fun, but you have to remember, when you're doing a movie, you get to work when it's pitch black outside, and you get home when it's pitch black outside, and the rest is working, So that's, am I making any sense? Because that's it. Because young people, I'm doing these master class at colleges and everything. Look, I'm not a master, and I wasn't that great at class. So I'm not sure we should call it that. But it's when young people are thinking about that. They're thinking about doing something professional. And I said, it's beautiful. My daughter's an artist. My grandchildren make me pick. It's fabulous. Do whatever you want to do in the arts. It's beautiful. But sometimes at a college level, when people are saying, you know what? I think I'm good enough at this that I'm like going to pay for rent and I'm going to pay for my food from acting, singing, any of that stuff. Oh, that's great. I did the same thing. But just don't, you're going to have to work. Just like a carpenter learns by starting to plane boards. A carpenter starts that way. Everybody starts small and goes up. There are very, very few just that kind of actor that's just so natural and it just happens. Very, very rare. Usually it's that, as they joke about, that overnight sensation after they've been working for 15 years in a million different jobs.
I used to teach in a music college, and there were so many talented kids in their early 20s that wanted to go perform and do their thing, but they had this fear, and that fear stopped them really spreading their wings.
Right.
You can have the talent, but what would you say to young people who have the fear, just that little door that's closed that they can't get through?
You know those goofy exercises that we all see in a movie about how stupid actors do the stupid things that actors do in a class. Okay, pretend you're a tree. Okay, everyone crawl around on the ground and make sounds like a color, and we have to pick out what color you are. And there are all these kinds of exercises. I think most of them, you think like, what on earth are they doing? Most of them are to teach you that if you're humiliated in front of a bunch of people, the earth doesn't open and swallow you. You just tried something.
Yeah.
And sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't work. And guess what? That's fine. You're allowed to go home and say, well, that just stunk up the place. You know? Note to self, don't try that thing anymore. You know? Do something else, you know? So that kind of a thing of just doing something in front of people and getting over that fear. I mean, I say to students, there's no such thing as fear. There's no such thing as nervousness. There's such thing as energy. So don't even say fear. Don't even say nervous. Just say, boy, I'm very excited to be here. Or I have a lot of energy in this. And communicate it to yourself as a great creative force inside of you that you want to express. And that's a beautiful thing, to want to express that. And to start thinking, well, I'm afraid because what if everyone hates it? First of all, it's very rare that everyone hates it. Everyone. You might have to find your audience. You know, you might have to go out there for a while and find out, well, they didn't like it, but maybe these people, especially with social media, the internet age, everything is becoming a niche thing. It's difficult, but you have to go out there and find your slice of the pie. People that think like you, an audience that responds to what you're doing, that harmonizes to your work. It's a difficult go, but it's definitely